What up, dude? And welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. It's your man, Curt. Still, today is Wednesday, April 20th. Happy 420 day for y'all who partake in that stuff. 2022 on deck for today's shows. We got Coach Jones says, man, there's something unusual about this draft, dog. Then we got both Walkers from Georgia coming in for pre-draft visits, and the Lions have started their off-season workout program. Before we get into all that noise, let me bring in the rest of the crew. Man, he is go ahead. He's sporting that, saying that Smoker Social Day 420. He is our resident smoke dog. My man, LL Cool Jones. What's up, my dude?
Was on Proud Nation. Smoke them if you got them.
Hey, man. Hey, you know who it is. It's the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. Our resident defensive line extraordinaire. It is who?
Coach Jones. And you can't get that can of butter from your boy. Holla at me.
All right. Let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. Welcome back to the show, people, man. Coach Jones says he thinks that there is something, I don't know, awry, a little bit crazy, a little bit funky about this dog. I mean, he's like James Brown. Ha! This may be a little funky up in this thing. What you got, my man, Coach Jones?
So, we have all started to come to the realization that Detroit Lions front office know what they're doing. But I don't really think that we really realize everything that's coming to fruition. Like, for instance, when we got Brad Holmes, we're like, okay, somebody who can draft, right? Somebody who can finally get players because we don't want to overpay players. Well, turns out all 7 of his draft picks played last year, and they were all slated to start. Even Jamar Jefferson, but he didn't start that game, but he was slated to start. They're like, okay. And then we go in and we also played 3 undrafted, right? So that's 10 players. Now you go to this year's draft. We got 8 picks. Okay, that's 18 players, plus whatever undrafted. And then you think about it, he has totally reshaped this team because we will probably have anywhere between 18 and 23 brand new players. I'm talking about a year experience or less in the NFL. And does it feel, how does it feel now for the first time in the history that I feel confident about the draft? Like, I know some of us want Kyle Hamilton, some of us want Aiden Hutchinson, some of us want Kayvon Thibodeau, some of us want to trade back, but the feeling that, you know what, it really don't matter what Brad Holmes, John Dorsey, or Ray Agnew, Chris Spielman, and Sheila Ford, what they decide, we know that they will make the right decision. And I think that is a benchmark in Lions history, because I don't ever remember that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't remember football people making football decisions in the front office, and this is the first offseason, their first full offseason to implement their plan. Last year, they was kind of in a scramble. They was kind of rushing, like, okay, we got the coach, we got the GM. Okay, we put the front office together. Okay, we got the draft next week. You know what I'm saying? So, but now the plan will come in fruition, and it's like, man, it just feels very good to know that we are in the right. We are like in the New England Patriots type of build. Like, we know what everything is going to do, and it's going to fall into place. We tried it with the New England Patriot regime. They know what the hell they was doing. These people know what they're doing, because you got people who don't even really watch the Lions like that. We're like, man, they wow, they're doing, oh wow, they did, oh wow. And we turn our heads, man. So what do y'all think? What are y'all feelings about this off season being the first full off season that they have to just work their magic.
Man, I agree with you. I agree with everything you said, man. You sound like what I've been saying over the past however many months, with much more analysis involved. So much kudos to you, my brother, on this. I'm on record as saying whatever's clever with this. Like they already have my faith. Maybe it's too premature, but I don't really care. I've said it. I'm on record as saying I've never felt like this in my lifetime of being a Lions fan. This is the best I've ever felt about what's going on. It's a lot of things, man. I like. Well, I never really knew nothing about Brad Holmes, but I like to listen to what people say about people. So we all sports fans, draft heads and stuff like that. I remember back in the day, like they would say, they would give like draft comps and give some NBA ones. Like they said that Keith Van Horn was like Larry Bird with hops or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of crazy stuff, and you can't look at them like, nah, I don't really see that. But like other players like Luka Doncic, like every year it's like a high name foreign player, no matter if or not USA, whether they be from Canada or anywhere else, and they get a lot of hype and they don't really pan out. But they gave Luka a comp of Brandon Roy. It ain't like a superstar comp, but I'm like, dang, Brandon Roy was a real solid player. I see what they was talking about. So when they was talking about Brad Holmes, one of the comparisons, the comparisons I heard was Ozzie Newsome. And I said, oh man, that's nice. Like I don't really know nothing about him, but man, that's pretty decent. And now just through the draft and through the little bit of, through one full season, like, what we're talking about, I could kind of see that comp. And that's another reason why I do have the faith that in these guys that I do, because it's like, if that's where the comparison draws, I see some of the, I don't want to say similarities, but I could see the vision of, they're making the vision clear, if that's a good way to say it. So yeah, I trust them. Shout out to Brad Holmes, shout out to Dan Campbell. I trust Brad Holmes to get the players. I trust Dan Campbell and the coaches to coach them up, and I trust this building where we're going with it.
For me, of course, I'm considerably older than both of you all. I get what you're saying. I understand what your premise is because of the fact that, we haven't had that type of confidence in what's going on with the Lions since the Barry Sanders days, since that time that we went to the NFC Championship game. I haven't had that type of confidence in the Lions and what they've done and on a consistent basis. Because you look at that roster, they built it. You look at, what they brought in. That was a comp. Unless it was the NFC Championship game, you look at how that Lions team was built. We had a solid running game. We had a great passing game. You had 3 wide receivers that was really good, really solid, can go out, and they all had different, type of weapons, can stretch the field. You had Herman with the big catch radius, and he can go with the 50-50 contested. And then you had a Brett Perriman who could stretch the field, and then you had my man Johnny Morton was good slot. He can do a lot of things. He was kind of that jack of all trades on that offense with the wide receivers. So of course you had Barry back there doing his thing, and we didn't have a superstar quarterback. We went to the NC with Eric Kramer. Come on, man. That shows you that you don't have to have an elite quarterback to get things done. And I'll see that if looking at that type of build, how we built that team back then, I can see what we're building now. They had a good defense back in the day. They're building the defense. They're building a defensive line up. I think they're going to look at this as a project where they're getting all the right players that they want. They're starting to get some guys who they want in, and with the guys that are the depth players are kind of the players that are what they want. So you look at this and, RIP to my man, Jim, we kind of talked about this so many times about how they're going to build this team, build it smart. You build it through the trenches. They're going to go defensive line again. It's going to be another defensive line player. I think it's going to be another interior defensive line player picking the draft as well. Just kind of, and they're going to build those trenches up. We'll get a late round offensive lineman. It's just, the confidence that these guys are going to do the right thing. Sheila Hamp took over this team and said, this is how we're going to do it. we're going to put football people, and like you said, Coach Mike, there wasn't ever a lot of football people in Detroit. They brought in a lot of people that were from the outside. That was, like think about Matt Millen. They pulled him out of the booth to be the GM. Like, the hell does that? The guy has no GM experience whatsoever. You took a broadcaster and made him your general manager. Guy had no, experience doing that. Wasn't a scout. When you pulled him out of the broadcast booth to be a GM. You gonna get what you get. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at this, like we said, man, Sheila Hemp, she said, I'm taking the forward out of the Lions, and we're gonna be Sheila Hemp, and we're gonna be this organization that wants to build a winner. We're gonna organize this thing the way that it needs to be done to get some success in Detroit. We're done with all the him and the hawing, all the mess. Rod Wood, you the president of this stuff. You're not on the football side. You go handle the concession stand. You go handle the Wi-Fi in the stadium. You go handle all the parking and all that stuff like that in the menus and all that stuff like that. You stay out of the football way. You let Chris Spillman and all these guys and Brad Holmes and John Dorsey and all these guys, you let them do the football thing. You stay over there, in your office, we'll make sure your Roku TV is on, and the Wi-Fi working so you can go ahead and do your thing. You stay over at Ford Field. The people that do football will be at Allen Park. So you stay over there doing that thing. And you look at it, that's what we needed. Sheila Hemp was what the Lions needed as ownership. She finally got out of the way of what her parents and all those people before her did and started building and winning the right way, because all mom did was come in and do the same crap that the dad did.
Right.
I wish more people could hear what you just said, Curt.
Yeah.
About just it's like it's brand new ownership, basically.
And like I said, I've pointed this out, and some of the Detroit Lions local media really recognized that when she took that forward out of her name, she wants to take that forward legacy away from the Lions and you know what I'm saying, and build a winner under her umbrella as the owner, being Sheila Hemp going forward. Because her brother wasn't going to be the owner, the principal owner of the Lions. And I said the mom just did what the dad did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look at hiring Wildwood, and look at the faux pas with the last regime. You know what I'm saying? She pretty much let the NFL pick her GM and head coach, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she just said, "No, we're gonna have a search committee. We're gonna do this thing differently." And I'm liking what Sheila Hemp is doing so far. So shout out to Sheila for doing her thing. And like you said, with this draft, you get a different sense of what's going on because of the shout out to the Flintstones. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the curl. You know my boys right there.
You know what? Mike Valente, who a lot of Lions fans can't stand. Mike Valente is actually positive when he talks about the Lions. Like, what in the world is going on?
That shows you what it's a different time and a different era right now in the Detroit Lions.
He heard what I used to say about him.
Oh man, I mean, I tell you, I've talked to Mike Valente. Hey, you hear it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, he don't give a damn what nobody say about him.
Nah.
But you think about this though, the Lions went away from 97.1. Remember, they had switched over to the AM station to do their. Now they're back on 97.1. They've kind of amended that relationship, because they know they're going to get more ears on 97.1 than they are going to on that WJR. Listen to the AM. Who listens to AM radio? Nobody listens to AM radio.
When you go to the drive-in or something,
I mean, for real. Station. So I mean, like, this draft is going to be one of those ones where whatever they do, what I'm saying, I'm ready to. I'm willing to see what they're doing, because at the end of the day, even though you still can't judge a regime off of 2 draft classes, because draft classes don't really pan out until 2 or 3 years later.
Right.
You're lucky to see some, just how blessed and that we were able to see that many players play, that last year, because a lot of players, besides one or two players, a lot of teams don't start that many guys. We had things just kind of worked out where you had the injuries and these guys had to step up and play, and they went out there. The record didn't, reflect. We can't say that they were, it was a great season. No, it was a shit season. We were 3-13 and won, but the effort was there, and you saw the progression throughout the season, and that's what we're so positive about on the show, man. Hey, if you like this video, man, you like the content, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, man. We're on that march to 4K. So you know what you guys do, man. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and be a part of the Prowl Nation family. Speaking of family, the family discussion topic for today is: do you agree with Coach Jones? There is something unusual about this draft. Being Lions fans, man, I think we got a sense of hope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Country Wayne say, man, hey, help is on the way, man. And I feel it in this draft coming up, man. So now it's time for my man. Y'all know him, man. I know he is celebrating all day today because this is his national holiday. Oh man, LL Cool Tones, what you got for your news and rumors topic for today?
Well, as always, thank you for that illustrious intro, Kurt. But yeah, you spoke about it earlier. The Lions brought in another Georgia Bulldog, Walker. I messed it all up, but Quay Walker in on the pre-draft visit. So just reading a little bit of the article from Lions Wire, it says, with pre-draft visits wrapping up this week, the Detroit Lions are cramming in the final visitors to the team headquarters in Allen Park. Georgia linebacker Quay Walker added his name to the list of 30 official pre-draft visits with the Lions on Tuesday. Walker projects to be the first of the talented trio of Georgia Bulldog linebackers to be drafted. His exceptional tackling and impressive coverage ability have him in potential play for the Lions with their picks at 32 and 34 overall. Though Walker might not last that long in next week's draft, at 6'4", 241 pounds, Walker tested impressively at the scouting combine and has the proven game film to back it up. The Lions previously met with Walker's linebacker mate, Nakobe Dean, and Trayvon Walker, if we call him a linebacker, on another pre-draft visit. Detroit staff coached the third Bulldogs linebacker, Channing Tyndall, during the Senior Bowl week. All three are expected to be selected well before the end of day 2 of the 2022 NFL draft. Personally, I don't know. I wouldn't mind either. When we went over the draft prospects and we talked about play, because I wasn't really that familiar with him. But man, no, he is a really nice prospect. I like him. Out of the middle linebackers, out of him and Nakobe Dean, I would like him. I would not mind Nakobe Dean either because I feel like he'll fit. And I feel like they can, he could help our defense. But here's another useful or helpful prospect that we have out there. How do you guys feel about Quay Walker?
Yeah, oh man, you had the Walker brothers in the building. I know they ain't brothers, but having Trayvon Walker and then Quay Walker, I like Quay Walker because of his size. I mean, the downside for Nakobe Dean is he's a little shorter, maybe a little smaller, but his body hasn't matured yet. As far as I think he can grow none as far as taller, but he can put some muscle on. He can get bigger and stronger as long as he keeps his speed. Either one of those linebackers from Georgia, man. I mean, you look at these guys, man. That Georgia defense was so deep. They could rotate players in and out. That was the issue with Trayvon Walker because he didn't have the numbers, but he played a rotational. I mean, but you look at the potential and the freak athletes that he is. That's why he has such a big upside and why he's vaulting up the draft boards and maybe a potential the first overall pick in the draft. I mean, you're hearing that right now where Aiden Hutchinson may be in play for the Lions just because of the fact that Trayvon Walker is now projected to be the number 1 pick. And you look at one of the reasons why is that he is, as far as the type of build he is and his athletic ability, that Aldon Smith type player who was drafted by the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars out to San Francisco. So you're looking at the type of athlete he is. That's why Trayvon Walker may be the number 1 pick. But as far as the other Walker, I like him. I like him. I like him. The guy flies sideline to sideline. He's fast. He's tall. He's big. He's athletic. He can cover. I mean, that's something we ain't had a linebacker in a long time in Detroit. So, you know, and it may, to be honest with you, if we can get both of them, the Kobe D and look, we getting a whole bunch of Georgia Bulldogs in these and the latest. What do you call that? The mock drafts over at ESPN. I think the last was the game. They gave us 3 of them, 3 defenders from the Georgia Bulldog defense. And to be honest with you, hey, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, the last Georgia Bulldog we had on the one we drafted #1 overall in the top of the draft played pretty good, and we got a pretty good one on the team still. So, you know, hey, I'll take some Georgia Bulldogs on the Lions.
Yeah. You know what? Trayvon Walker, man, him being 6'5", 272, and him running 4.51 is just still in my mind. Like
Sean Merriman.
That's ridiculous.
Sean Merriman.
You know, but I just don't want us to bite on that fool's gold because he only played in about 30-something% of the snaps, 40% of the snaps, and I don't want his body to break down like Ziggy's did. You know what I'm saying? Like you there and you got all this production when you healthy.
Ziggy was 105 years old when he drafted.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We don't know how old Ziggy was when we drafted his ass.
It's just there's so many like there's such a big upside to Trayvon, but then there's that unknown. Well, what happens if he gets because he hasn't played full time in college.
The only thing with that is that he doesn't have a lot of miles on his body. Though. That's the only thing. You don't have a lot of wear and tear. So he's a lot of these guys, man. They coachable, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But Quay Walker, man, yo, we can get you, bruh. You can come on down, man. I don't know about you know, I'm not really too down on the Kobe Dean because of the size, but Quay Walker, that's 6'4", 240-pound linebacker. Hey, we need you, bro.
He can run side. I mean, he's what Dan Campbell was talking about the linebackers when he came in. He said he wanted linebackers that had good size and can run sideline to sideline. You look at that, comparing him up with a Derek Barnes, and you have those other 2 guys as backups. Man, that's some good depths at the linebacker position. For
Chris Spielman.
That's the beauty of this draft, and I'm Coach Mike. You should be, real excited because it's a whole lot of real good linebacker prospects. You got these guys we're talking about. You got Chad Muma. You're not hearing much about him no more, but his name is still out there. I can't think of the other guy's name. Everybody, I can't think of his damn name, but and then my man from Wisconsin,
Oklahoma.
Nah. He like
got Christian Harris from Alabama. I mean,
Christian Harris.
Got some decent.
Give me some names. Give me some names, Kurt.
I mean, that's the one for me because he sticks in my head as far as that guy you want because he's about that same size as Quay Walker. You know, at 6'3", you know what I'm saying, about 240 pounds, and can run. I forget about the guy. I know they're talking about the guy in Oklahoma, but you have some guys, man, in this draft. Well, you can have a deep draft class, and these guys are going to start falling in 2nd, 3rd round. You know what I'm saying?
Brother,
pick up.
Brother might,
Nefe Sewell, you know what I'm saying? You can get him later on in the draft. And, you know, you put them Sewell brothers together, you might have, you know what I'm saying, one on each side of the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? We have them siblings, man. The Core brothers and the Sewell brothers, man.
Right.
And the other Sewell brother it'll probably be coming out next year, you know what I'm saying? So we can load up, you know what I'm saying, on the Sewells, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of Polynesian power on the team, so just go ahead and add to that thing.
Might as well.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
we're strong out here.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you want to get yourself some Lions gear, man. Hey, the draft gear is out. You see Curt rocking that 2022 draft cap. Go to fanatics.com. Link is in the description. Go ahead and get yourself some. They got T-shirts over there now too, sweatshirts for the draft. Definitely looks better than last year's version because. Okay, but anyways, go over to fanatics.com. Link is in the description. A small portion of the proceeds from that link will help us grow the content on this channel. And if you want to get yourself some Prowl Nation gear, go over to lionsontheprowlshop.com. That link's in the description as well. Get yourself some Prowl Nation gear, man, and support your fellas right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Definitely, if you want to hang out with us on your other social media platforms, go ahead and follow the crew. You can go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all those things. And if you want to watch this show and you want to leave your app, you want to hang out with some more Lions fans and check out your other favorite Detroit Lions content creators, go over to Lions Nation Unite, man. It is your one-stop shop, the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans, man. It's over there. I'm gonna hook up with some of the fans, and we're gonna meet when the Lions come down here this year and they play the Panthers down here in Charlotte. So I'm definitely gonna hang out with the people right there in the app. So go ahead and check out Lions Nation Unite. Now, man, it's time for me to go ahead and roll into my topic today, man. Hey, guess what happened yesterday? The off-season workout program started yesterday. The Lions started their off-season workout program on Tuesday. A ton of veteran players were in the building. You had some guys like Jared Goff was in the building. You had DeAndre Swift. The new safety, Deshaun Elliott, was in the building. You had you had some of the wide receivers, Quintez Cephas. You had Amon-Ra St. Brown. All those guys are in there working out with the Lions during that workout period. Now, Dan Talica, y'all know who it is, man. He said he was excited about the turnout, and he expects almost everyone to show up for the offseason workout. He's going to take some time for some people to get there. And I'm going to be honest with you, shoot, I know some people living in the South ain't trying to go up to Michigan right now because damn, it's snowing. So they trying to be there right now. So he said, give them a day, let the weather break. They'll be up there for the workouts. Now, here is kind of a breakdown of what's going to go on for the offseason program that will last 8 weeks. Is the offseason program through the mandatory training camp, the mini camp in June. So you got phase one that consists of the first 2 weeks of the program with activities, limited meetings, strength and conditioning trainings, and rehab. So that is the first 2 weeks. So that's this week and next week. And then you got phase two, which is coming up. That includes some on-the-field workouts with individual and group instructions and drills, and plays with the offensive players lining up across from the defensive players. And, you get that. No, excuse me, you get offense versus offense and defense versus defense. They will not go side to, against each other. But it is conducted at a walkthrough pace. So you're looking at that. It's pretty much the installs to help get some of the new terminology and plays in to the system. And, because you got the new offensive coordinator with Ben Johnson coming in. And then phase three, which is the last 4 weeks of the program. In phase three, teams may conduct a total of 10 days of OTAs. That's when your OTAs come in, and a mini camp. No live contact, so it's permitted because you don't want to get your players hurt in training camp, man. I mean, just, OTAs. But you got 7-on-7s, 9-on-7s, and 11-on-11 drills are allowed during those training periods, man. So you got 8 weeks of them in the building. Football is essentially back for a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't watching the USFL, you can go ahead and check out some of the Lions training camp stuff. They posted on their website. You can go over and check out the photos from yesterday's workout and see who was all in the building, man. But it's good to have football back at Allen Park, and you can see some of the new guys coming in and getting their workout on. You like to see some of the leaders of the other team, out there working out as well. What you guys got on the offseason program?
Yeah, I seen the photos uploaded to DetroitLions.com, and and they looked like they was working, man. Didn't nobody really look like they was kind of just going through the motion. It looked like they was sweating out there. They was they was putting in that work, man. So that's good. That's always good, and that's just positive, man. To know that people ain't just on their phones and sipping their.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not Jamie Collins, and they actually working out.
Right. They just they working. They working. Those young dudes out there, they working, man. I'm just happy.
Yeah. This is a good time to get familiar with your teammates. Hopefully they use this time and come together cohesively for the season.
Yeah, definitely. But I know some of the people that live down south, they was like, man, I'll be up there next week because this
Right.
it's going to hell out there right now. All right. Man, you know what, man? It's time for us to do my favorite thing. It's time for us to zip our lips and talk about what you had to say about the last show. It is time for the comment cards, baby. My man Chuck Forget, man, I love that name. Chuck Forget said we need mean, nasty, take no prisoner in the trenches. Then we can think about adding the pretty pieces. I get what you're saying. Build those trenches first, offensive, defensive lines, and get those things and off the edge and get some nasty players on that defense, man. Like a Lean McNeil who was in the building yesterday as well. I like what you're saying there, Chuck.
Yep. Thanks for that, Chuck. Friend of the show, Michael Lewis says, absolutely it matters. Speaking about the family discussion topic from last show. I don't remember exactly what it was, but all it takes is one
culture
guy
and character. Culture and character matter when you draft a player.
All it takes is the one guy that thinks he's all that and starts to fall from there.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm not so sure if that's what it is with Thibodeau, though. Like, for lack of a better term, like when I heard him talk, it was that one interview. I was like, man, he a dummy. That was it. Like, I didn't think he didn't want to play football. I just thought that he, I was like, he's stupid. But that's what I said, for lack of a better term. But I don't think that's gonna be the issue with him, and I think he's gonna be a good pro.
Okay. So Murdoch kind of going on the lines of what Michael Lewis said. This is just my gut feeling of what I saw watching Thibodeau play. He has talent in the Pac-12, no doubt. However, it's the Pac-12. Damn, why you gotta diss it like that?
Shots fired.
He said, however, it's the Pac-12, and he was the man amongst boys, in my honest opinion. Thibodeau will get exposed at the next level. He's not a fit for the Lions. Short peg, round hole. Damn, Murdoch, he could be good.
The law firm laying the law down. His comments. He said,
I ain't gonna mess with you, brother.
All right, we got Joe Balsuck the third. Okay, the third.
Balusic.
Okay. Balusic. Okay, Joe Balusic the third. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. All right, there is a reason coaches conduct these conversational interviews. Okay, they also pay attention to other sources to gain insight on a player's character, coachability, desire, and worth ethic. Excuse me. And it indicated that a player doesn't have what the coach is looking for is a big red flag. I feel you on that. So, some of the interview questions can be silly as hell. It can be totally, inappropriate. I think who's that? They asked back in the day, somebody asked Des Bryant about his mom being a prostitute or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, I think that this coaching regime is straight up front. They pretty much gonna ask you, they're gonna fill you out, but they're gonna be 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't see what they want, they can be like, next.
Your mom out there trying to
tricks. That's how you gotta do, man. In a lot of situations, if you see something you don't like, you got to get out of there before it's too late. But Scott Smith said it would definitely be cool, Hutchinson said, when asked how he'd react to being drafted by the Lions. I'd be living close to home. It would definitely make the transition a bit easier to the NFL, just being close to home to my parents. Thank you for that, Scott Smith. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson, but the last thing that I would want to do once I'm, hot shit in my new job and getting a whole bunch of money is be close at home to my parents. Because they're gonna tell you not to do stuff. But no, shout out to Scott Smith.
Oh man, Paul Tompkins says, one thing I like about the draft is you get a real sense of what management thinks of the direction of the team. Example, if we go QB in the first round, the Lions have lost confidence in Jared Goff. I feel Brad Holmes believes in Goff can be our guy. So we will not be drafting a QB. I don't know, man, if we will draft a QB or not, but I'm just not a fan of Tim Boyle. So we can get like Billy Zapp in the 5th round or Carson Strong in the 5th round or something like that, then I'm good, man. I don't like that Boyle situation.
Right. So thank all of y'all for those comments, of course, leaving throughout the show, and also always respond to the family discussion topic. And we'll pick 6 of them to go on the next show. But transitioning from Kurt's favorite segment of the show to everyone's segment of the show, and that is the dessert with your man Kurt. Highlight us, Kurt.
Hey, Dessert with your man Kurt is brought to you by Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Now, my man, we don't get it normally, but one of the Detroit Lions defenders is getting some national recognition. Who is it? Amani Oruwariye. After his outstanding season last year, really did some good things out there on the outside. He was third in the NFL in interceptions with 6. He had, I think it was a 36.0 quarterback rating out there when passes were thrown his way, which was also third in the NFL. So you look at that, man. Amani Oruwariye in top 10 in a few categories as a defensive back, or a corner. You look at him, man, he is developing into that short down corner that we wanted when he was coming out of college, out of Penn State. Amani Oruwariye he made the step that a lot of people wanted Jeff Okudah to make last year, and of course Okudah couldn't make it because he was injured. But you look at that, he stepped up, and his game is definitely becoming one of the most probably dependable as far as the Lions defensive backs. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the young fellow, and that coaching staff with Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant has made him, a really big step. Has made him a better defender. So shout out to Amani Oruwariye for getting some of that national recognition for his play last season, man. The young fella is doing his thing, man. And he's part of that Nigerian crew that we have right here on the Lions. So,
Right.
Amani Oruwariye, go ahead and do your thing, young brother. And that's your dessert with your man Kurt, brought to you by Delightful Bites, man. You can go over to the link in the description, order yourself some cookies and cakes and pies and all that stuff like that over on that site, over on Facebook. If you don't do the Facebook thing, you can email her at delightfulbites18@gmail.com. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Now it's time to take a walk on over to that Wall of Fame, baby. On today, we got Bubba Bo. You know what I'm saying? He know how we do it on that Bronze Members Wall of Fame. We got Detroit Drew. We got my man Q or David Anderson, depending on what day of the week it is. You got the king of everything because he's the everything king. And our several members, we got Jason Porter's got Cap Ice Cold over there, definitely doing this thing over there in the silver members group as well. And then you got Shannon Peck, and then you have Mr. Scotty the Bear, baguettes and all that. And the gold members, we got my man Mr. Reliable Michael Huck. Now gold members meeting is today at 3 p.m. Check the community tab for the link or your email, because you get the email notifications when they come out through your email. So either those places you can check for the gold members link. Definitely, you got Turner C. Burley. You got the Dr. Detroit. He is always in, along with my man, Mr. Rough and Raw himself, North End Ken, and Lady Lionor of Deuce Bagia to round out our gold members. Man, that name is always crazy. But, to become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button down in the description. Now it's time for final thoughts. What you got, my man, LL?
Well, it's What Up Though Wednesday. It's 420. So, do what you got to do. Smoke them if you got them. Shout out to everybody out there. And real quick, these are the linebacker prospects that's out there. I just want this because the name that I was forgetting is Troy Anderson. But this is a very deep list. So check this out, Coach Mike. We got Devin Lloyd, N'Kobe Dean, Christian Harris, Quay Walker, Chad Muma, Damone Clark, I don't know how to pronounce that, if I'm saying it right, out of LSU. Then Channing Tindall, and then y'all boy Brian Asamoah from Oklahoma. So that's a very, very, very deep linebacker core. We're going to get at least one of those guys, and he's going to be thumping some heads around here. So shout out to those gentlemen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. What you got, Coach?
You know what? I'll never say this, and it just came to me, and I'm just gonna leave it at this when I say it. Thank you, Bob Quinn. I'm sorry.
I know what you're saying. I
Thank
get what you're
you.
saying.
Thank you for screwing up so bad.
Thank you for Amani Warrior.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. You're a great guy. Just don't come back around here. What you got, Curt?
All right. If you see me in the street, don't say nothing. My final thoughts for today's show is the Detroit Lions are building something. You have Brad Holmes. You have a competent front office now. I think that's what we're after. We're saying something that's unusual because we have competent people doing competent things in this regime. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Definitely, Coach Mike. Thank you for that topic for today, man. We really appreciate it because, every fan is not on that thing though. Some fans are still going to be SOL until the Lions win the Super Bowl, and that doesn't make it right. But that's just their mentality because they've been burned so many times by this team, and they've put their heart out there, and the team doesn't do. Everybody wants instant success, and I don't think that's not the way to build a winner and a champion. You have to build it consistently over time where you're going to get this thing right. And I think that's the approach that the Lions are taking right now. So shout out to Sheila Hamp, Brad Holmes, and company, Dan Campbell, and those guys for doing their thing right. So shout out to those guys, man. Hey, man, like my man said, is what up the Wednesday. You know how we do it. Hey, it is still April, and it is still Autism Awareness Acceptance Month. I'm rocking that puzzle piece for my man Curt is still there. You know how we hold it down for individuals with autism. So go ahead and support, man. I appreciate everyone reaching out and giving me some support, what I'm saying, in my journey. I'll tell you, my numbers are getting good, man. So, hopefully, I won't, doctors are already saying I'm not going to be on an insulin long term. So we're going to get this thing going and get this thing right, man. But as always, man, like I tell you, especially during Autism Acceptance Month, if in the world you can do anything, just be kind, man. So go ahead, finish up those dollar conies, wipe them crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Coach Mike, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon. We love you, Jim.